When you're labeling your Rubik's Cube for the purposes of blind solving, you want to take into account your method. If you use a method that has a buffer position, which is all the methods that I teach, you never label the buffer position, because if the rest of the cube is solved, then the buffer position is automatically solved. Now, for a method like Old Pachman, where you're just learning how to blind solve, you probably want to use a labeling system that's easy to remember and isn't necessarily very fast. You want to label not only all of the permutations that you can encounter, but also all the orientations you can encounter. So instead of labeling everything A, B, C, D, E, F, G, you want to label them something like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, J, and so on. And for the edges, you would do something like A, B, C, D, E, F, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, or something like that. Something that's easy to remember which pattern you went in. Now, when you start getting into methods like M2R2 and Turbo, you want to make them something that as you're remembering it, you can tell something about where it's located. Now, for M2R2, since a lot of the pieces are going to be rotated on these outer slices, and the middle layer is something different, I label these outer slices first, and then the middle. Now, since one of the first things you want to think about once you're doing speed is how you get the piece there, and whether you have to rotate it or you can just do a 2-gen algorithm, I've labeled mine A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Because if I know if it's one of the first four letters, before I even remember what piece it is, I already know that it's just going to involve U and R to put it in that buffer position. So for my M2R2 solving, I've labeled it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. I left out Q and R and went to S, T, U, V, W, X. The reason I left out Q and R is because Q is a very awkward letter, and when you're memorizing, it's going to be hard to remember. And so I left it out because it is unnecessary, because there is not 26 permutations on this cube. And I like to keep these things in pairs. However, if you were going to get really serious about this, you would probably get rid of letters like J and Q and leave an R, because it's one of the most common letters of the alphabet. And for R2, I've done something similar, where I can tell immediately the type of setup move I'm going to need to do in order to put it into the receiving position. So for R2, I've labeled it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, and S and T I have a hard time remembering, and I swap them sometimes in my memorization. As you'll see with my 4x4 blind solve, where I stop for a minute and try to remember what I meant. S and T. What do I use right now? I think I do S and T right now. I'm not sure. I should probably make that certain sometime. But anyway, as you can see, I've used the form of my method to decide how I label it so that it is easier to use. And as you get better at blind solving, you should get to the point where you can recognize the letters just by the piece and not having to trace where it is. If you see something like yellow-red, my mind automatically says A, because I've done blind solving so much.